My name is Dheeraj Akolkar and I'm a filmmaker based in London, UK, and working all over the world with different films. So the film is called Wars Don't End because wars really don't end when we know they end. They continue to explode in people's lives. This film is a story of children born to German soldiers and mothers from occupied Norway during the Second World War, whose lives were destroyed by the paranoia that existed in the post-war years, some of which is understandable, but I'm not sure it is justified. Because we keep seeing there are so many war zones in the world where the same story repeats again and again. It seems as if we don't learn from the mistakes we make. But this film focuses on the Norwegian children born of war, and especially a group that fought the only known legal battle for justice. First in the 3 courts of law in Norway, and then in the highest human rights court of Europe in Strasbourg, where they did not get justice. But in some way, I suppose this film is their justice, I feel. We are contributing, not completing their story, but we are contributing by making their voices heard. That's a very good question. I came across this film. I came across this story in the newspaper, The Guardian. They had covered the Strasbourg fight a little bit, but it was a very brilliantly written piece, which was heart-wrenching. They had included stories of some of the children, which were very, very difficult to even just read about. But why I care for it? I've thought about it quite a lot. I think this film, to me, is a love story. This film is a story of what happens when people fail to love. And that side of a love story should also be told. The issue with children that are born of wars, the one thing that they totally lack is love, because they are hated at times even by their own mothers, because they're reminders of something that was very tragic in their lives. These children are completely innocent. They have no idea what is happening to them. They cannot change the blood in their veins. And as a consequence, they suffer for a very, very long time. The people that you see in Wars Don't End are the people who survived. But not everybody was so lucky, we must remember. Many people have committed suicide. Many people went into mental asylums. Many people have disturbed lives, have very low quality of life. And this is not done by a dictator and his army wearing uniforms. This is done by people like you and me. So we have to really, really understand that we are capable of being horrible. And it is a reminder that when the situation like this comes in front of us again, we should have better moral and spiritual ammunition to deal with it. And of course, the stories of these children cannot be just buried and be forgotten. What connected me to this film in this article was this anger. Why even in 2007 are we not able to do justice to their stories? That made me extremely angry. So here we are, 11 years later, the film was ready. It took a long time to get it made. I have a very, very wonderful memory of Lubeck. In fact, this is probably the only film festival in the world that has shown all 3 of my feature-length films. And I am so pleased. My first film, Liv and Ingmar, which is the story of Liv Ullmann and Ingmar Bergman, was received fantastically here. The people in the festival were so kind, and I remember it very, very fondly. So to be able to come here with my third film and to be able to present it to the audience, this film is bound to have a special connection because the fathers of these children were German, of course, but definitely even as a film, I'm so lucky and privileged that the festival invited me again.